Okay, so let's jump right in today. Think about this for a second. The giants, Apple, NVIDIA, Intel, and the chips, the tiny brains inside everything.
Right, the absolute core component.
Exactly. And, usually we think of one main company making the most advanced ones, but what if that's about to change?
That's the big question, isn't it?
We're doing a deep dive today into this really fresh report, just out July 26th, 2025. And it hints at a potentially massive shift in who makes these critical chips.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating, I think, is how just one strong rumor, one analyst report, can really make waves across the whole tech world.
So what's the mission today? What are we exploring?
So we're digging into this report claiming Apple and NVIDIA are showing, well, significant interest in Intel's next big thing, their 14A manufacturing process.
14A.
And this isn't just, some minor technical detail. If it pans out, it could fundamentally reshape the global chip supply chain. It touches everything, innovation, competition, even geopolitics.
Which brings us right to the core of this WCF Tech report. It paints a surprisingly positive picture for Intel, doesn't it?
It really does. I mean, Intel's been pretty open, saying they need big outside customers for their advanced nodes like 18A and this new 14A, or they might have to, pull back.
Right, they needed that volume.
Exactly. But now it looks like a serious partnership might actually be on the table.
So who's saying this? Is it solid?
Well, the report cites Jeff Pu. He's an analyst at GF Securities, pretty well known for tracking Apple.
Okay, yeah, I know the name.
And he's saying Apple is apparently sampling early versions of Intel's 14A process design kit.
The PDK, so the blueprint for designers.
Precisely. And it's not just Apple. The report suggests NVIDIA is also, let's say, kicking the tires on 14A.
Wow, so if this happens, Apple using two suppliers.
That's the implication, a dual sourcing strategy. Using both TSMC, their current main supplier, and Intel for these next-gen chips, what Intel calls 14A. Think 1.4 nanometer class.
That would be huge. Especially considering, Intel's struggles in the foundry space over the last few years. This 14A itself, though, what makes it special?
It's Intel's next major step.
Oh.
We're talking advanced transistor designs, new ways to deliver power, all aimed at boosting performance and efficiency.
Which is critical for...
Especially for AI, right?
Yeah.
And edge computing. These areas are just exploding. So Intel's timing here, focusing on this, seems pretty smart.
And the report mentions specific products.
Yeah, it speculates about NVIDIA's lower-end gaming GPUs, maybe Apple's M-series chips down the line as potential first users.
Interesting. But it's still early days, right? Things change fast in semiconductors.
Oh, absolutely. This is crucial to remember. Nothing's set in stone. But if Apple does adopt 14A in a big way, that's transformative for Intel, no question.
Why? Because TSMC has been so dominant.
Completely. TSMC basically holds most of the cards for the most advanced chips right now. That gives them enormous leverage over pricing, over who gets capacity.
So companies like Apple and NVIDIA don't have much choice.
Very little choice at the cutting edge. Imagine your whole business relies on one single supplier for its most vital part. That's the situation.
So from Apple's perspective, what's the strategic play here? Why Intel? Why now? I mean, TSMC isn't standing still, right? They'll have their own 1.4 nanometer tech, A14, probably around the same time, 2028 maybe?
Right. TSMC will definitely have a competing process. But for Apple, this isn't just about getting a backup supplier. It's about leverage.
Competition.
Exactly. It's about supply chain resilience, yes, but also potentially better pricing, more negotiation power. It diversifies their risk away from just one company, one region.
Okay, but what's the risk for Apple? What if Intel stumbles? If they can't deliver 14A reliably at the scale Apple needs?
That's the billion-dollar question, isn't it? The tech might look good on paper, but mass production, high yields, consistent quality, that's a whole different ballgame. It's a massive execution challenge for Intel.
And NVIDIA. You mentioned their interest has been rumored before.
Yeah, for months, actually. The AI boom means they need absolutely cutting-edge chips, and tons of them. Relying solely on TSMC, especially with potential geopolitical issues, it's a huge risk.
So same logic applies. Diversification, resilience, maybe pressuring both TSMC and Intel?
Precisely. A dual-source strategy gives them options, buffers against disruption, and potentially encourages both foundries to push harder, maybe offer better deals.
Okay, let's zoom out. What does this all mean for, for you listening, for anyone just following tech?
Well, the core idea is this potential diversification.
Mm.
Apple, NVIDIA, maybe others, not just relying on TSMC, but bringing Intel seriously back into the high-end foundry game with 14A.
And that would be, as you said, a massive breakthrough for Intel. Could really shake up the whole manufacturing landscape.
Definitely. And connecting it to the bigger picture, it's not just about who makes the chips. It's about creating a more robust, innovative tech ecosystem. Less reliance on one single region for the most advanced stuff reduces geopolitical risk, for one. It fosters more competition, which, usually speeds up innovation.
Right.
And it raises this really interesting question. What new things become possible if chip designers like Apple and NVIDIA have real choices? If they can play Intel off TSMC and vice versa, what design freedoms does that unlock?
That's a great point. What new kinds of devices, what new capabilities could emerge if these giants truly have more foundries to choose from?
Think about it. Could it impact pricing for us? Could it accelerate how quickly we get the next big leap in performance or efficiency?
Faster innovation, maybe even better prices.
Yeah.
It really makes you wonder what the next few years hold for the chips inside everything we use.
It certainly does. A lot to watch.
Definitely something to keep an eye on. A fascinating prospect to think about until our next deep dive.